process. Boom, that's a small StarCraft stream. Bam, that's a bigger one, and we are back underway. Let's go ahead and get things started again. Everything's all fixed now. And over here at the 3 o'clock position on ESV Sandshore and Mist, we have HeavenOnEarth spawning as our purple Zerg player.
Very professional right there, Cats
Yes,
Pajamas.
thank you.
That was
Thank
well
you
done.
very much. I
did not need to call in the technical support.
I very much appreciate it. Got everything covered. HeavenOnEarth is that guy that everyone was saying, who is this guy? He's barreling through the open bracket at MLG. And so we're going to take a couple, we're going to look at a couple of games from him. His opponent over at the 9 o'clock position. That's Type 2 Phoenix, the German team, former Korean player, former Phoenix Wera. If you guys are familiar with him, and for a brief period of time, Rain Phoenix as well. Normally Zerg playing as Protoss this game around, though.
Wouldn't be IPL without at least one little technical situation that we will resolve very quickly. So
Well, everything's taken care of now.
Everything
and let's
is
talk
taken
about
care
this
of.
map. This is ESV Sandshore and Mist. This is a map that you like quite a bit.
This is the map that I like quite a bit. This is a great map, and I feel like it's good because it has a lot of different attack paths through the middle of the map. On top of that, we can see the islands that I think you already mentioned before on the top left and the top right. This map typically has seen a lot of epic styles of play, and the reason for that being is, like I said before, we want to see more maps here in the IPL that kind of promote the Brood War style of StarCraft 2, which is many skirmishes throughout the map, not ball versus ball situations. And I think this map, with so many attack paths, such an interesting map design, I think it really plays into that kind of play style.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on in. Now, there is only one Xel'Naga tower in the middle, next to the Space Shark. Space Shark in the middle there. And, of course, there are no gold bases and no even destructible rock bases. This is all pretty open. Multiple attack paths, like we said, because the Xel'Naga vision, you can actually see the range of it, so there are many opportunities to run all the way around and completely flank your opponent out. It looks like Phoenix is going to open up Nexus first, actually a 14 Nexus. Very early, sacrificing a lot of probes to go ahead and get this Forge and Nexus out as quick as possible.
Going to pay off in the long run, though. It's kind of like a short run versus long run thing right here for Type 2 Phoenix. And while he's going to sacrifice a lot of probes in the beginning of the game, if he can hold down this Nexus and get a proper defense set up at the front door, he's going to be very set up for a late game style of Protoss versus Zerg. And I actually think Nexus first on this map is really good, because it's pretty easy. It's just like Shakura's Plateau in terms of the ramp size at the natural, so it's very easy to wall it off with forges and gateways and cannons, and you can play that that Nexus fast expand style and get away with it pretty easily, and I've seen a lot of Protoss players do it, so that's what Phoenix is doing here.
Gateway being thrown up at the wall at the front as well. He's already got one pylon on the low ground there, where of course we didn't mention this aspect of the map, but you have a little landing area right there.
The helicopter landing pad.
Yes, that you can actually run directly up into the main. So of course you can't just walk up there,
nope.
But it's very easy to abuse with Blink. It's very easy to abuse with drops, Reapers, things like that.
Yeah, and that's actually a feature that is detrimental to a Protoss player or to a Terran player or even a Zerg player. Really detrimental to any player to have a ramp like that. Not really a ramp, but like I said, a landing pad into your main. And I like what Phoenix did by placing a pylon on that area. He's going to have complete vision over that landing area, and it's just going to help him protect himself in case HeavenOnEarth tries something. Now, you did mention AHA. That is a third hatchery coming up.
This came up at exactly the 4-minute mark. So that is a very early third hatchery, but of course, if he's able to protect that with a minimal lane defense for a while, he's going to be in a very nice economic spot.
Yeah, well, he saw the Nexus first and really grabbing that. Yeah, he's going to wall it off pretty easily. He saw the Nexus first and really grabbing that third hatch as quickly as you possibly can is really one way for Zerg to deal with that, short of just trying to bust the wall down, which I don't think is going to work on this map for reasons similar to Shakura's Plateau. So I like what HeavenOnEarth is doing.
All right, so Queens coming up. They are in abundance at the moment. Probably see a third one added here as soon as he has the 150 resources. But let's go ahead and take a look around the map. Let's see. Pretty good map control established by HeavenOnEarth. He's got control of the Xel'Naga Tower, running Zerglings up around the top just to make sure nothing cheesy is there. This little probe is still being quite pesky, though, and it looks like he's actually going to run into that Zergling here in a second, and that will shortly be the end of that probe. It's going to run away for a good period of time, but alas,
the Zergling actually eating up the probe, not the Ursadak, which the Ursadak is like 50 million times bigger and looks scarier.
But it only has 10 hit points.
It only has 10 hit points, that's true. So it looks like the probe will actually go down here, but it doesn't go down.
It's going to get a full scout.
Before it gets a full scout, exactly. So it sees the third hatchery coming up, and that's pretty relieving, I think, for Phoenix, because he now knows that he's not going to face any kind of all-in aggression, and he can stay to his game plan of, you know, following up that quick nexus into whatever playstyle he really wants to go with.
Now, I saw a couple of people in chat who mentioned something about their colors being a little bit off. Oh, as we have a Zealot that's trying to make his way up here. That's kind of the style of the map. The map is very washed out and odd looking, so that's not a trick of your eyes. That's just something that's inherent to the map. It looks like Phoenix, is he going to get a drone kill? Yes. Not going to be able to get a second, though. The Zealot does unfortunately go down.
Are you referring to the darkness of the hatchery?
You know, that actually was just a bug. This was actually brighter a second ago. What happened was, I was actually, because you notice the queen and some of these drones are as well.
Spawning pools.
We actually just discovered a bug in the in StarCraft, because what happened was I was watching the probe's vision as it came up, and when the probe died and the vision was revealed, because this was all still technically in the fog of war, it died right here, it popped up as really, really dark.
Maybe if you go...
Well, it was on the border of the fog of war, so...
Maybe if you do this, it'll fix it. There we go.
See, that's actually a bug. Huh. Well, look at that. StarCraft devs, if you're watching, I have discovered a bug. Now pay me money. Let's see. So Phoenix has 4 gates up and a robo. He's already got the Warp Prism done, and we're going to see a 4-sentry drop.
Interesting. Now, the 4-sentry drop inside the Warp Prism is really, really effective as long as you're good with the micro. A couple of ways you can go with this. You can drop right at the ramp of the natural, force field the ramp, and then warp in additional units to kind of harass the probe line or the drone line of the Zerg player without the Zerg being able to really react because he's force fielded outside. Or we might see Type 2 Phoenix go ahead and drop the sentries behind the mineral line and just completely force field some drones in and pick off as many drones as possible and then get away.
Oh,
let's see what he does.
HeavenOnEarth has a big supply block right now, but he is going to be able to spot this coming at multiple locations, so he's going to be fine as far as defending goes, or so I would assume. Looks like he's going to make his way back there with those Zerglings, and the Zealots, even with +1, are going to have a hard time combating this many Zerglings, and the Zealots are all eventually going to die. But here's the 4 sentries. 4 Zealots are being warped in as well, and Phoenix has the potential to do a lot of damage here.
Yeah, it looks like he's just going to deploy the sentries right now. It looks like the drones aren't getting out of there. They have to get out of there before the sentries can launch their force fields, and it looks like... you know, Phoenix may have been hesitating for a bit, and HeavenOnEarth just barely got out of there with all of his drones intact. Now, the Zerglings will not be able to kill off this many Zealots, and don't forget, Type 2 Phoenix can continue to warp in units because he has a Warp Prism there. So HeavenOnEarth is in a lot of trouble now, and if Phoenix wanted to put a sentry at the ramp, he could actually perma-field the ramp right now, and I would argue maybe take out a lot of the main, maybe even the entire main. This is a dangerous situation for HeavenOnEarth.
Yeah, this is a very bad situation for him, especially because he doesn't have any of his upgrades done, so he's still, it just is 2 hits for Zealot to go ahead and clear out. Those Zerglings are being incredibly cost-effective. They're killing a ton of units at the moment. How many workers have gone down? Just 5 workers so far, but Queens have been lost. Zerglings have been lost. How many units overall? 86 units have been killed.
Yeah, and I'm surprised he's not force fielding the ramp here. He could just secure an entire complete leveling of the Zerg main right now, and I'm really surprised he's not leaving a force field on the ramp at all, but it looks like he's just got enough Zealots anyways to pound through the lair. The lair is going to go down. He kills off the infestation as pit as well, but not before 5 infestors come out, or so.
One just finished up now.
Yeah, so, oh man, HeavenOnEarth is in a horrible situation now, and I can speak from first-hand experience. When you lose your main as a Zerg player, it's one of the most horrible sinking feelings ever.
Oh look, and this infestor actually can't pop up because there were so many units around it.
Wow.
And there it is. Now it finally does get up, but it's going to go down very quickly.
Yeah, and there was something going on at the Zerg Natural. I'm not sure what. It looks like the Warp Prism was harassing the mineral line, but it went down. And I don't know where the Warp Prism is now. I think it might have
too many units here.
Might have been killed off. But look at those Zealots, man. They get a fungal to the face. And with Chain Fungal, the Zealots will probably get eaten up now, but not before they serve their duty in life. And then their duty was basically kill the entire Zerg main. They did it very well.
Yes, they did. You know, at least for HeavenOnEarth, though...
He didn't lose that many drones.
Right.
That's
exactly.
one thing that's good.
So his economy is still intact, but he's producing off of even bases with his Protoss opponent at the moment. Cybernetic score is being rebuilt, of course, as he does have to destroy the one over half the front. Charge is going to get constructed now.
I don't know if he needed to destroy the wall right then and there. What is he trying to push out right now?
Whoa, we're going to have a double Archon drop.
Wow. This game is getting a little insane.
And the Overseer sees the 2 Warp Prisms, though.
Yeah, the Overseer does see the 2 Warp Prisms, but it doesn't see the Archon, so he doesn't quite know what's going on right now. And Phoenix is pushing out again. This is very aggressive play from Phoenix.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that he's making the push right now. I thought maybe he would just secure the 3rd and play it safe, but he's going to continue the pressure here, and I love this type of play. Just, you know, keep your foot on the gas pedal. Don't let up, because a lot of times when you let up, that's when your opponent's going to get ahead of you. Now, the Archons have got to get out before the fungal growth comes down. The Archon's really well spread, though. Love it. And looks like those Archons are set to go with more Templar warping in and Zealots. This is a terrible situation for Heaven on Earth.
Warping in feedbacks and immediately turning those over to an Archon. Very nice play.
Yeah.
As there's very little fungal growth that's actually left. Phoenix playing so well at the moment. This was such a well-coordinated attack. Banelings come in and they are going to be able to finish off the Zealots, but they have no chance of killing off the Archons.
Oh my god, the drones are fighting against Archons. You never want to use drones against Archons. No. He's going to pull it out of there. I mean, there's not even a point to fighting with drones against Archons, okay? So, if you're going to do that, you might as well just leave. And I think at this point, maybe Heaven on Earth is just way too outmatched. I think he's going to lose.
If he actually finishes up another weapons upgrade, those Archons actually one-shot workers. So,
yeah,
that's no good. Hatchery does go down. We only have just 1 base. And there's a bunch of Zerglings coming down, but there's already Photon Cannons in place to clear up a few of the Zerglings, soften them up. They are going to run in here and see an Immortal. Are they just going to run into the main? They are, but okay, there's not much there to defend, but these Archons are just rolling in and crushing face.
Well, one of the drones are fighting against Archons, and look at how fast the drones go down. They didn't even get a chance to get next to the Archons, and Heaven on Earth is going to call the GG. He did get in there with some Zerglings for the counter, but, you know, he pretty much had his main leveled, he had his 3rd level. There was just